Okay, this is my third attempt. I'm pretty irritated. Anyway, this is going to be your daily reading from Living a Life Awareness by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., Daily Meditations on the Toltec Path. Excuse me if I seem like I'm not feeling very great, because I really am not feeling all that great. Anyway, I took a bunch of stuff to sleep well, and I slept pretty good, and then this morning, I'll explain this after the reading, because I'd rather just get into this reading, because I've already pre-read it, and it's pretty good. I like it. It does really speak loudly to me and what's going on with me in my life personally, and what happened all last week with the puppies and just all kinds of stuff. And I'll share after this, because earlier I tried to do this, and then I was already 2 minutes in, and I was like giving you an explanation about why I haven't uploaded yet today. I figure let's get the reading knocked out, and then I can assess what I need to say right after this reading. So we're going to do this, and it's finding your center. Oh, you can probably tell I don't feel good. Sometimes our lives can become so busy and chaotic, it feels as if we were caught in a hurricane with so many things swirling around us. Our stress levels rise as we try to control not only the things we can, but also the peripheral things outside ourselves that we can't. In trying to control the entire swell of the hurricane, we give our power away. The result is suffering. Yes, I can vouch for that statement. It's easy to get caught up in the hurricane and forget to stay in our center, in our power. The hurricane exists because you exist. The strength of the hurricane comes directly from you. With awareness, you can get back to your center. You can find the calm in the storm. Don't get all crappy, Mr. Cloud. Practice. To get back to your center and take back your power, ask yourself, what is the most important thing to me in my life? What's the most important thing to me in my life? Once you know the answer, taming the hurricane becomes much easier. You can better focus on what is most important and stop focusing on all the other stuff. Being aware of what is most important in your life allows you to stay in balance with everything you do. I want to repeat that part. Being aware of what is most important in your life allows you to stay in balance with everything you do. Let me reflect on that a little bit, because when I read it before I've recorded, and then I'll explain why you're just now seeing this. For me, I was dealing, before I ever got to read this previously, just a minute ago, or about 30 minutes ago, before I read it, while I was waiting to be able to record, it spoke so loudly to me. Because I will be honest, I was feeling like I have felt plenty of times in life, but I haven't felt so much like that in a while, even with all the chaos last week, with all the puppies being sick and dying off and crap like that. I feel today I was really feeling off, very off. I felt out of center. I've been kind of feeling off center for a couple of days. And I had even thought about making a video and just telling y'all how I've been feeling. And I'm still going to say this. Well, actually, I'm not going to say this with a definitive stance, because I don't feel this way. But just a little while ago, an hour or two ago, I was feeling like recording and saying, I've been feeling like giving up, and like not giving up on living in general, but just giving up on all this momentum I've built up, all this stuff I'm pouring into the channel, trying to keep up with my spiritual daily life, my routines that I just chores. You know, it's really important to me that I stay on track, even if I feel like crap. So that's why I'm making this video. Because, I mean, you know, if I was working a 9-to-5 job, man, 8 hours a day or more, any of you that's watching that do still work or have a job, you know yourself, you got to get up and do it. Like, and especially, like, I don't have children or a wife or nobody that I'm taking care of other than a dog and a cat now. I had the puppies, but for me, it's like, since I've been on disability for quite a few years now, I've got it approved. I first got it in 2009, but it just slowly became this where I was wasting all this time I have in the day and aimlessly, for a long time, it was just belligerently drunk every day and getting high on anything. It didn't matter. I don't mean to seem like a broken record here, but if you've watched any of my videos, if you go all the way back to the first, I start telling right off early on. Now, I had this channel up for a while, and I did have a bunch of stupid videos up a few years ago that had pretty much no point to them. Well, actually, a couple of them were. Had begun reading, The Way of the Wizard back then, and then just never followed up with it and finished it. I just very rarely did anything. I was so discouraged at the time. Like, I didn't know how do you make a channel grow. Well, nowadays, since I've been working on sobriety and a few mishaps here and there, but I've been doing good, and I gained the insight to, how you get something to grow? How you get people interested is you keep doing it. If it's anything that's worth a crap, people will be drawn to it. And the more you do it, you get better at it. You keep putting it out, and eventually it starts showing up in people's streams that aren't even looking for it. Like, for instance, this girl the other day, she's got a channel, and I'm just now doing this on the spot, but she subscribed and commented on one of my videos, said, I don't know why your video popped up in my feed, but it did, and I'm glad. I can't wait to watch more. And I don't even remember which video it was. It was just a few days ago. And so I went, as soon as I saw that she actually had a channel, I went and watched a couple of her she don't have a lot on there, and she's only got, so I'm going to try to make a point to write down her name of the channel and give a shout out at some point to several people in one just small video about, I want to be able to, like, as I grow, if someone's got it, like, my channel's small, very small, but we're close to 300. I've got more people following this channel than that lady does. So I think she's at 24 subscribers. And I can go back and see where she started several months back or a year ago. I don't know when but it was cool. And I like those moments. I get that quite a bit. Like, somebody just randomly commenting, like, I don't know why this popped up, but it did, and I'm glad. Well, I imagine it does pop up because if you've watched anything that's even similar, that's spiritual in nature, insightful, inspirational, then that tells the algorithm what type of stuff you've watched. And I think that this channel is kind of along those lines. It's meant to be inspirational. It's meant to be motivational. It's meant to give y'all hope as I gain hope, and I keep my hope, and I keep my faith, and I keep moving forward. And of course, I'm trying to learn the balance, because I do want to have specific, like I said, Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be strictly for, like, I'm going to still do a meditation video, but I'm going to try to put more time into toys and comics, and those are those days. But what I wanted to say, is like, after I read this the first time, and then even now, finding your center, I feel myself pulling back to center. I feel myself coming back to center. This video is going on a little while, but, I think I shouldn't worry about that. If it works, it works. If I mess up, then stop and restart. So far, I'm on a roll. This is the third time, or maybe this is the fourth time I actually hit record and begun. And then this was like, I got to stop. I start this over. But the reason that I haven't uploaded yet today is one of the main reasons is the tablet was having a difficult time charging. It had the damnedest time yesterday. Pardon my language. That's just me. I really don't think cuss words, it's my intent anyway. Let's not get into that whole philosophical debate. Point being, so I had trouble months ago with it charging, and I found like it charged best if I turned it off and just left it alone. I'd let it run down to like 19-20%, put it on, and then it would charge relatively quickly. Within an hour, a little more over an hour, I'd be ready to go again. Well, then it just stopped giving me trouble, and it's been fine. And then now, the past few days, it's acting up. Like, for instance, last night, and another thing I wanted to share with you is, like, I've been taking the past few days probably more melatonin than I should, but I'll start off with 110 milligram, and then a few hours later, I'm taking another one. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm taking 1 or 2. Last night, I started with 1 early. Then I took a Trazodone early, and then before I even went to bed around 9:30 or 10, I took another 1 or 2 melatonin and another Trazodone because I've had difficulty sleeping. But it's also occurring to me that I was going so hard last week. I was stressed out. Y'all could tell in the videos. These puppies were really concerning me. And, well, the puppies, not these puppies now because they all passed. But it was so stressful. But I didn't have a choice, man. In my mind, I had no choice but to keep going. And I still don't have a choice but to keep going. But now that everything's kind of past that certain stress level point, I'm feeling it all starting to catch up with my body, my mind, and everything. So I'm realizing Mr. Cloud's got to start finding a little more balance on, like, for instance, you probably won't see as many videos this week. When I get done with this one, I am going to try to do the Way of the Wizard and be uploading it before the day's over. Other than that, I don't expect to make, now that doesn't mean something might not hit me and I'm thinking about something and I need to make a video because I want to share it. If the spirit hits me and it's something that I think is worthy of sharing, I'm going to share it. But that being said, tomorrow's Tuesday. I'm not even completely sure what I'm going to do for a toy or a comic book video tomorrow. I don't know how I'll feel tomorrow because today let me just be honest, I'm not, all that melatonin and some of that Trazodone is still lingering in me. I slept today, because when I got up this morning, look, I put this tablet on charge last night around 9:30, had it off. When I got up this morning, it was still at 42% where it was at when I plugged it in. If I'd gotten up in the middle of the night and saw that it wasn't moving, I would have wiggled the cord and everything. So I was kind of frustrated. I finally got it to get up to about 55% by just pulling the cord out, putting it back in, and making sure it's still charging the whole time. Changed the boxes, I think it might be I was thinking it might have been my charger box, which I only have 1 or 2. And then I was thinking it was my white cord, but I think it's not this cord. I found the issue, I think. Because this morning, once I got back from walking Ladybird and cooking and eating a little something after at a certain point, around 12 o'clock, I went over to Betty's house, my neighbor, and they had a cord and a badass charging box, and it's a cord that'll fit my tablet. I was like, do you care about, so I plugged it up, and within 5 minutes of just talking, I checked it again, it went from being at 55 or 56 once I plugged it in over there to within 5 minutes, it was at 60, 61. So that tells you, I was dealing with yesterday seeing, plugging it up, it says it's charging, come back 10, 15 minutes later, and it ain't even moved one number. But then Betty's brother found a little smaller cord, so I can't have it plugged in and trying to use it, but I can turn it off when it goes low and let it charge. Hopefully it'll and then her daughter said that she's got a box and the cord for a phone she's got, but she's not using that. And she'll find it. It's in the car, and her husband's at work right now. So maybe this afternoon I can get that good charger box and the cord. But I came back over here to use that small cord because I got it almost to 100% over at Betty's. But this cord is a cord that's got a female and a male end on it, like where, I can plug this in, or I can plug this in to the box, and then I can take my big end from the charging cord and plug it in there and just make a longer cord. And I discovered that at some point, if you can see this, can y'all see that? Look, see? I would suspect that that's what's been going on, and I just wasn't noticing it. You got a cut in it. It's like, if you just barely even touch that or move it, because when I was trying to watch videos with the charging and everything, or if I'm on Facebook, or if I'm on text or Twitter, I might not have realized it, but that just barely moved, and it would just cut out. And I'd have to I'd get frustrated, and it was like, ugh. So that's why you haven't seen a video. And yeah, this is good. I hope y'all watch this whole thing. I don't know. If you're like me though, a lot of times I'm watching videos. Now, depends on the type of content, but sometimes when a video on YouTube is longer than 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I find, especially if it's something that I already know a little bit about, if they're going through like a spell where sometimes I fast forward through it. That's fine. If I do it, then I should expect that other people do it. That's why normally I try to keep most of my videos shorter, so hopefully your attention span is grabbed and you stick with it, but who cares? My content's getting longer. I can see I'm already at 17 minutes, and I'm not going to stop this and start it over. I don't feel that good. And it ain't just the melatonin. I mean, I'm dealing with... Yes, I should have went probably somewhere and had my back looked at. But I'm telling you, I'm sick of the medical establishment. And as long as the spirit as long as it ain't like I feel like I'm dying and got to go call the 911, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get a ride to the hospital and do it like that. I'm going to walk through the doors. Or if I'm hurting bad enough, wheelchair through it. But I'll deal with that when it comes time. Hopefully I can get that done in the next few days. And like I said, if it gets down to where I'm hurting pretty bad, or like I feel like I don't give a crap if I got a ride or not, I need 911. I'll have an ambulance come get me and I'll go. And then I'll figure out how to get home when they're done seeing me and figuring out what's going on and trying to do something. But I'm pretty convinced nowadays that most of your doctors just don't care. It's all money, and they're not going to do anything if you don't have insurance. They're going to do the bare minimum. And then if you do have insurance, the insurance wants to play games and not cover what you may really need. For instance, I was supposed to get an MRI last year on my back, but the insurance company, I'd already had an ultrasound, and they saw some pocket of fluid, and they were like, well, you're not being referred for a surgery right now, so we're not going to approve this MRI. They're taking money it's all a big scam. And I'm trying to not go into those kind of fields of topics. If I do, then I'll get heated and I'll get angry. But just keep me in your prayers and your thoughts. Hopefully I don't get sick. Betty's grandson is pretty bad off. He's been having a bad cough. And then when I was over there earlier, they said his temperature was 100 and something. Now, he was acting like moving around, pretty much. But he was also crying and whining and all kinds of stuff. And it's probably because he ain't feeling good. But unfortunately, we might all get it because we've been around Colton. And it ain't his fault. So, and there I go coughing. Let me get off here. It's going to take forever to upload this crap. Because I only have data. I don't have Wi-Fi. Now, I've been thinking here lately about when I'm feeling good enough, taking my journeys once or twice a week up to the local library where I can walk to within about 35, 40 minutes. Then I can just connect to their Wi-Fi and probably upload a lot quicker, not use so much data and all that. But, I've got a lot that I got to take care of every day at the trailer. But today I'm not taking care of much of anything other than feeding my face and resting, sleeping. Matter of fact, after this, I'll probably turn this off, start uploading it. Once it's uploaded, I'll probably take something else and go back to sleep. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Until next time, Mr. Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.